Happy holidays from us here at Grillslingers. If you're stuffing stockings this year or just looking for a way to make something a little bit different, beef jerky is the grill master answer. I'm Eric. Let's shrink some meat. Is it okay if I say that? Beef jerky is something that most folks will go buy rather than make themselves, but to be honest, you're paying way too much money for something that you can make at home with better flavor, better texture, and ultimately at a lower cost. Better yet, you really don't need any special equipment. Now, today we're gonna use a smoker and a dehydrator, but you can absolutely get this done in an oven as long as you can get it down in the 160, 170 range. I've got 3 different styles today that are sure to please anyone on your gift list, so let's jump right in. So jerky can be made with multiple kinds of meat, but the leaner cuts tend to actually fare better. You can use a top round, a bottom round, or even a lifter. And even flank and sirloin tip works well here, but less marbling is actually better here. But we still want a tender cut, so today we're gonna be using eye of the round, which is found right up here in the cow, in the shortland region. You'll want to throw it in the freezer for about an hour or so before slicing and trimming, so that we can firm up and give you a cleaner cut when we're getting in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start trimming off some of the fat and the silver skin. We want to take off as much external fat as possible before we actually start slicing this into individual pieces. Go. Dun, 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 Mr. Simmons. Yes. This is like a 7-pound eye roast. I actually found it at Restaurant Depot. Most people think, oh, Eric, like you can't shop at Restaurant Depot unless you have a business. Well, hey, luckily we are business. So the eye round's kind of like an odd cut. It comes from the top, or it comes from the round roast, which is part of the short loin, and it kind of goes into the sirloin section. But the eye round's kind of like the second tenderloin on the cow. It's just not as tender, obviously. Otherwise, it'd be a much more popular cut. But it works great for jerky because you get these nice long fibers that go across the meat. And when you slice it thin, it picks up a ton of flavor. And yeah, it's not a bad choice for making jerky. All right, so now that we've got this all trimmed down, we're gonna actually cut it into individual pieces. Try to stay as thin as possible when you're doing this, but you really wanna go against the grain. So on an eye round, everything runs this way. So we're actually gonna try to cut at an angle coming in like this. We're gonna kind of just shave it off. And when you start, you will get some smaller pieces like this. But if you've ever seen what you get in a bag of jerky, that's pretty consistent. Ooh, look at that. Wish you had your camera B up because I'm gonna show you the grain. Thanks, Jeff.
3 hours later.
Now that our meat is sliced and prepped, we'll go ahead and get our smoker rolling at about 160, 170 degrees. It's gonna be dealer's choice here on wood. I like to use a neutral wood like oak, so I'm not overpowering any of the flavor that we're adding into our marinade. We'll be prepping 3 different marinades, so you have some variety here. We're gonna do a classic salt and pepper, we're gonna do a Korean barbecue style, and we're also gonna do a Jamaican jerk. So first, we're gonna get out our bags here and get these separated. Just gonna divide here evenly. Now you can use regular gallon bags. I'm using vacuum seal because one of the things that vacuum seal does is allows you to marinate a lot faster. Plus I have one, so I gotta use it, right? I have to justify the purchase. Does it look about even? Yeah. It is close enough for barbecue. Apparently, I don't know anything about barbecue because I use a pellet smoker.
Accurate.
We'll start with a classic salt and pepper. I'm not going to add a ton to this. We're gonna get one of these bags. Now in this jar, I've got a 1-to-1 of Worcestershire, which I learned to say finally, thank you. And we've also got soy sauce in here. So this is 1-to-1. We're gonna dump that in there. And then we have got some black pepper. and celery salt, not regular salt. We want to add a little bit of difference in flavor because the soy sauce, and the Worcestershire already have a ton of salt in it, so we want to add a little bit of that vegetableness. Like these are just little tricks that to really kind of amp up the flavor in there. Soy salt, soy sauce, soy sauce, soy sauce, soy sauce, soy sauce, soy sauce. So that's all in the bag. We're gonna get that vacuum sealed. Again, if you don't have a vacuum sealer, you can just put it in a gallon bag and press all the air out of it. So next, we're gonna prep our Korean barbecue style. What we're gonna add to this is some soy sauce. We got a bunch of minced garlic. We've got demerara sugar, honey, horse black pepper, sesame seeds, and gochujang chili flakes. These are like a Korean chili flake. If you can't find these, you can use regular chili flake. But we're just gonna add that all to the bag, mix it, and then vacuum seal that as well. Complete with sound effects this time. Yes, because Jeff reminded me the quantities and amounts for all of this will be listed in the description below, as long as we remember to do it. All right, and now lastly, our jerk marinade. And I hope you're not afraid of heat because we're busting out the Scotch bonnets for this one. Scotch bonnets, they're a Caribbean pepper that just blows your average jalapeno pepper completely out of the water. If you're shy of heat, you can use whatever pepper you want, but if you're going for authentic jerk flavor, the Scotch bonnet's a fairly pivotal part of getting that authentic flavor. Not like I'm being 100% authentic, but I'm trying at least. So, but we're gonna get a blender out first. Wow. And if I can figure out how to use it. We're going to add 1 chopped up onion. We're going to add some diced scallions. You can use green onions here as well. There's a couple sprigs of thyme that have been diced up. Some chopped up garlic. These are allspice berries. These are pretty easy to find in your spice section, but it's a pretty pivotal part of that as well. You can use ground, but I always recommend whole because you're gonna get larger pieces when it's blended. We've got cinnamon and nutmeg in here. We've just got some salt and some pepper. We've got orange juice, soy sauce, vinegar, vegetable oil, some demerara sugar. You can use brown or white sugar, it doesn't really matter. And then lastly, our Scotch bonnets. Now I have to warn you, if you are going to use the Scotch bonnets, wear gloves, clean your knife, clean whatever cutting board you're on. So the last thing you want is to touch something and forget that you were handling one of the hottest peppers you can find. So this is 2 diced up Scotch bonnets. Should I eat one of these? Okay, here we go. Oh shit, pith on it. Rich, you can do it, I'll do it.
Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's really hot.
I don't want a big piece. All right, I got it. It's fine.
Oh, not so brave anymore. It's hot, but it's not last damn hot.
No.
I mean, granted, I had a tiny
You can
piece.
handle.
Yeah.
Yours even a pith on it. That was just straight pepper.
That's really good.
I'm telling you, it's no joke.
I actually really like it.
Yeah, it's because it's really fruity. It's got a lot of flavor to it. By the way, obviously you know Richie, you know Jeff. It's got a ton of flavor to it, but it's not like this like searing heat. It's like it's there, it's present. It doesn't go away.
Yeah, it's kind of settled. Like it's kind of just it's. I would imagine if I had like another one that it would just stack. Like it's the heat that like keeps building, not necessarily. You know what I mean?
I'm on fire. My
Really?
lips are burning so bad right now, dude.
So we got 2 full Scotch bonnets
What?
in here.
Well, not anymore.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and blend that up.
That's really good, actually.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and take our jerk marinade. We don't, huh? The jerk. Add that in. Not gonna use all of it because we don't need to. Yeah, the right side of my tongue still. It's just there. I want it to go away. So now that we've got all of our jerky marinating in a vacuum sealed bag, we only have to throw this in the fridge for maybe 20 minutes. Since all the oxygen's removed, it will penetrate the meat a lot faster. If you want to go in a Ziploc bag, you're gonna want to at least marinate for 2 hours. I would recommend going up to maybe 6. That way you have all that time to get that flavor in there. But again, vacuum sealed, 20 minutes. It'll go super fast. So I'm gonna go throw those in the fridge. I'm gonna get my smoker up and running. We'll be back with you in just a second. Okay. Looks like our meat has enough time to marinate, so we're gonna get these out of the bags and go ahead and get them on the smoker, and then it's time to party, just like my neighbors. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those cut open. Yep. Now remember, we're not going to cook everything here on the smoker. We just want to get a little bit of flavor on there. So you can do as little as 30 minutes. You can do as much as 2 hours. So we're just going to get some smoke flavor on those. And then once we've got as much as we want, we're going to go ahead and transfer that to the dehydrator. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, so we've had our meat on the smoker for about an hour, hour and a half. So we're going to go ahead and just pull it off. Why did I say go ahead and go ahead? So we're going to go ahead and get our dehydrator out. This has got multiple trays here, so what we're gonna do is literally just transfer straight to the trays. If you're doing multiple flavors, keep your spicy stuff at the bottom in case anything drips down. We got our racks, and we're gonna go ahead and just get them transferred. Okay, so we got our jerky loaded up. Go ahead and put the lid on. All right, we're gonna go ahead and set 150 here. Then we're gonna see this in about 2, maybe 3 hours. We're just gonna come out and kind of periodically check, but this is the easy part. Just kind of sit back and wait, and we're gonna go do something else. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, so our jerky is finally done after a few hours in the dehydrator. So we've got our salt and pepper, which we did with the Worcestershire and soy sauce. We've got our Korean barbecue style, and we've got our jerk. I'm gonna go through and taste each one, kind of let you know what to expect. Grab that. Whoop. All right, salt and pepper. Okay, that's just your basic beef jerky. What do you think, Pup? Celery salt's nice, gives a little bit of that vegetable flavor. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just your kind of basic beef jerky. Super tender, super flavorful. Can't go wrong with that. So now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the Korean style. Nice pull on that. Let's see here. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Tons of garlic flavor. I mean, you're hitting garlic pretty much all up front. And you get that really deep sweetness, and then that gochujang. I'm sorry, not the gochujang. That gochugaru, that Korean chili flake, just comes right through at the end. It's kind of this like warming heat. I could eat this all day long. This is delicious. So last but not least, we got our Jamaican jerk. This is probably the one I'm most excited about. So I'm just gonna go in and get a bite of this. So if you remember, my goodness. If you remember, tons of onion, scallion in there. You don't get the heat right away. But it's there. My goodness, there's just so much to unpack with that flavor. You really just, kind of go through this journey of just tasting every single little bit. I mean, these three are completely different. You can't really compare them to each other. But if someone gave me that for Christmas, I think I'd be happy with that. But that's it. 3 different kinds of jerky. I'm super excited I got to share that with you guys. If you like this video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and very softly this time, just kind of click that notification bell. You don't have to smash it this time. It's okay. Remember, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're even on TikTok. I don't even know what TikTok is, but my team does. But it's been a pleasure. Happy holidays. We'll see you next time.